Can you hear me now? Hopefully so. Well, I've been sitting there talking for the past 6 minutes, and apparently nobody's been hearing me the whole time, so there we go. What I was saying was, we're going to look at my Spyderco collection tonight. And then I went and pulled them all out, and then nobody could hear me the whole time. What a shame. Not that I dropped very much information anyway. So, Spyderco Tenacious, I have 2 of these in titanium. Right there, glass blasted, and then lightning tie. This one I've been trying to get rid of for a little bit, but it is a very, very pretty knife. Because it's in D2 and this stuff shows fingerprints like nothing else, I clean it every time before I put it away. It's kind of hard to sell too, especially when I'm not putting it out there everywhere that it's for sale. And of course, the 8CR13 version of it. This one has a bit of a stronger detent. Personally, this is one of my favorite budget knives. 6AL4V titanium, 8CR13 MOV. Being heat treated by Spyderco, I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually decent. I haven't used it for much though. Nice and smooth. And of course it comes with a pocket clip on the wrong side. I used to have a Delica. I ended up selling it to somebody pretty recently. They're just not for me. I like the Native 5 more. Next up we got a PM2 and S45VN DLC coated. No clue what year it was made. I bought it used for $40 in an auction. Yes, it's real. Killer deal. And then I sharpened it, and now beautiful. Next up, we got a Para 3 in Maximate. Now, these things are brittle. They're known for having the blade just shatter. So you got to use these things understanding that they are only for slicing. They are not for prying or anything that you might do with any other knife. They're very brittle. But these things, the edge lasts forever. And I think I just sharpened this one too. I could have done a better job than that. I might sharpen it again later. Next up, we got my newest knife to the collection was a Spyderco Native 5 lightweight in S35VN. These things are very comfortable. I didn't expect it to be as good at slicing as it is, because it's a little thicker than you'd think, but This thing took a wicked nasty edge. And frankly, it'll take just about anything I throw at it. Lockbacks. I can appreciate a good lockback. Now this one was a more recent addition to the collection. This one I believe was made in 2015. I'm not 100% on that. Let me see if I can check. Yeah, I can't check without taking it apart, but it's in Crewwear. DLC coated. This thing took a nasty edge too. Just for shits and giggles. Oh, what was that? There's a catch on there. Oh yeah, this thing had a blade chip that I sharpened out of it. But there's no point in going any further than that because it just wastes material. A Spyderco Pacific Salt 1 in H1. This stuff is ridiculously stainless. Again, I can appreciate a good lockback. I think that this is one of the ugliest knives that they ever made. But it's comfortable. And I can handle a little bit of ugly if it makes it comfortable. Fits my hand quite nicely. I'd assume it's made for people with larger hands than mine, but I can't exactly change that. My first Spyderco right here is a Dragonfly 2 in S30V. At the time when I bought this, the most common ones that were being sold were VG10, and the only ones that you could get in S30V for under $100, well, the only Dragonfly 2s you could get for under $100 at the time were these, other than the VG10. So I got this. Apparently a portion of each of the sales goes towards what is it called? The charity called Living After Breast Cancer, for support after remission, I believe. I can get behind that. I can't think of anybody who would disagree with me there. But pink, I don't have a problem with pink. It's my only pink knife in my collection, though. Might change that one of these days. But it is a killer knife, and I think they're about $100 now. Quite possibly my biggest regret on this knife right here. It is a Spy Opera in Damasteel. Now, when I bought this thing, I got a free PM2 and Maximate with it. And I sold the PM2 for $215, and then shipping was $15. So I sold it for basically what I got it for. Anyway, so this one I ended up getting for $200 after you include all that. And then I tried to take it apart and completely ruined the action on it. And the only reason it's this smooth is because I have a piece of paper jammed in the pivot area. Because Lion Steel fucked up on this one, and the liners are bent. And there's nothing I can do to fix it. So, Lion Steel, work on your shit. My only Sage 5 is in Rex 121. I've thought about getting another one of these, but I need to carry this one first. Now this blade is way heavier than it looks. It's a good percentage of it is tungsten by weight. And we can check that real quick. Rex 121. 10% tungsten. This thing is heavier than it looks, I promise. But I do need to do some testing on this thing. I've yet to try it out yet. I'm not even sure if it's cut paper. One of my subscribers sent it to me for testing, and then I just haven't done the testing yet. It's got an okay factory edge, but you know, being how hard this steel is, I'm not surprised. We've got an Ambitious here in 8CR. This is an absolute beater knife. This is my pry bar when we're at the table, and I don't want to grab an actual pry bar. I just grab this one. And yes, it's sharp, because having a sharp edge on these helps with prying. When you need to force your way between two things, that edge definitely helps. So that's the whole Spyderco collection at this point. Let me find a box to put them in. Here we go. I'm working on development of a new design, and this new design fucking sucks to work on. Using this locking mechanism. I can't tell you guys how hard it is to fit stuff in this area with it being the way that it is. What else goes in the box? Nothing that I can think of. I do have quite a vast Benchmade collection. It kind of just happens on accident where, you know, I find the Benchmade's cheap enough that I end up buying them. And I regret it almost every single time. Even though the knives are perfectly fine, it's just like, I don't carry this. This isn't a knife that I would carry. There's nothing wrong with it. A little bit of surface rust on the blade, but you know, I got it for a good enough price that I figured, why not? I do that kind of stuff all the time. Get a bug out for $100 and then regret buying it because I don't need another bug out. How's your day going? What is your channel name other than this? And of course, I've got my Chris Reeve collection. That's pretty extensive at this point. You know, you find them for a good enough price and you just pull the trigger on it, even though you already have one. So now I have 3 of these. I have 2 Sebenzas, an Umnumzon, and a backpacker. And they're not exactly easy to get rid of. They take time. So I've been stuck with another large Nkosi, a small Nkosi, and a backpacker for a little while now. Ground Fog, what's up? Really? Look, I set my playlist up for 2010 dubstep, not this. So I guess we'll move over to death metal. Christian metal. I could do that. It's not the same, but anyway, I've brought it up before. I love titanium. Titanium is one of my favorite materials. It's just so interesting to me. When I first learned about titanium, I've told the story before. The way I learned about it was being told that the United States bought titanium from the United States, I think United States of Soviet Russia. I think that's what USSR stands for. Anyway, they bought it from Russia to build a plane to spy on Russia, and I found that hilarious. But I thought it was like some of the most expensive shit on the planet. And I'm sure for a 5 or a 10-year-old it would be, but you know, I'm 24 now, and at this point I can afford quite an extensive amount of titanium. I've got more than that too. That's just everything that's at the table. I have 2 more of these, like I said. Another one of those. What else? Oh, I think that's about it, actually. But yeah, titanium's just awesome. It's an interesting material. It doesn't like air. So when you melt it, to weld it, I think you have to have it in an air-free environment. But yeah, very, very interesting material. Another interesting material that I don't talk a whole lot about because I don't own a lot of it is M390 or 20CV or 204P, whatever you want to say. They're all the same stuff, but extremely high in chromium. To be considered a stainless steel, it has to have 13% chromium, except for MagnaCut that apparently has less than that. Boredom. Oh no, I scratched it. I don't care. Where's I going with that? This stuff has 20%, so that's 7% over, which is why it has such a high, such good stainless properties. Unfortunately, it can still rust, which I find really interesting. So this stuff has some rust spots on it, right there. I think I'm going to send this one in and get a new blade for it this week. But when I send it in, I need to remember to send in this one, because this one has a crack in the blade. That little, it looks like a hair. And it goes across the top. And then the other side, it's a crack. And I'm sure they'll cover that one under warranty. No, it's not the only thing making steel stainless. MagnaCut's a good point when you're talking about that as well, because I think it's 10% chromium. But there are other materials such as copper. Adding copper to a degree helps with stain resistance. MagnaCut is 10.7%, so. And the addition of niobium. Nope. Which one looks sick? Yeah, niobium. That helps with grain refinement by the looks of it. Manganese, nitrogen. I'm sure nitrogen does something too. Forms nitrides. All of them? It's an expensive hobby, but they are very good looking. I 100% agree with you. They're fun to fidget with too. These three are 500 a piece. This one is 320. This one's 60. It's amazing how I could fit them all on the table now when they're open. Quantum, what's up? Yep. The collection gets very expensive very quickly. Why would I beg? I don't need money. Don't get me wrong, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, but I don't need money. What about the red one and the gold one? So this one's pink. Oh. I find it annoying when other people do that, so I don't do it. So these are around $100 at the moment, I think. It's been a while since I've looked. Yeah, I find that really annoying. When somebody tells me to subscribe on their videos, I just kind of stop paying attention to them. Oh, I collect them. You know, some people collect books and create a library. Some people collect cars. I collect folding knives. And then this one is a prototype. Oh yeah, I 100% get it. My favorite knife is this one. I treat it like garbage, but it's a great knife. It'll do everything I need it to do, and will continue looking good in the process, even though it's covered in scratches. I was just talking to Fluffy about this. I usually sell my least favorite knives, so there's a $5 one you can get at Walmart. That's my least favorite. The thing is just garbage. So anyway, what I was telling Fluffy, these three are 500 a piece. This one was 320. This one's 100. This one's 60. Prototypes, they're not really sellable. Not all of my knife collection is that expensive. These are just the titanium ones. Like this one's 35. It's a pretty good overall knife. Oh, I thought this was a cool design, but I don't know. It's kind of up to the eye of the beholder type situation. I'm sure you get what I'm talking about when I say that. But everybody has their own opinions on models. What other stuff do I have? Oh, yeah. Have I recorded? I don't own butterfly knives. Nope. I have a solid understanding that I'm going to cut the shit out of myself with one of those, so I'll just continue with my regular folding knife. Oh, tons of times. Got myself pretty good on the finger a while back. The only thing actually was up here. There is a scar. Okay. It doesn't show up on camera, but it's like a line right here where I was closing this one and I went and pushed and then came back and it bit me pretty good. So the only thing that stopped it was the fingernail. Barely. It went pretty good into the fingernail too. Got a Gerber multi-tool that I got myself pretty good with. That one needed 14 stitches. Got myself on the thumb the other day. That line right there. I don't remember what it was. It's kind of just part of collecting something sharp. When you're fidgeting around with them like you do all the time, eventually you're going to get cut. So with that being an understanding, I just kind of live with it. Sometimes when I sharpen, I shave to see if I did a good job. Damn, it's still sharp. Nice. Anyway, sometimes when I shave, I put it at a slightly wrong angle and I get myself pretty good. I filleted my arm the other day doing that on accident. Biggest knife I own, short of a machete, is the Rat 5. I think it's got a 5-inch blade. It's pretty big. Yeah, I buy them for their materials. I don't have the tools to make my own knives at the moment, specifically heat treating. Did you accidentally get yourself with scissors? Because I can't think of a way to do it accidentally. I have not. However, I was involved in the main portion of the design process on this one. All the 3D modeling of this was done by me. This does need a few changes if it's going to go into production. Specifically, it needs this section removed right here to make it more smooth, and then this section removed. This needs to be moved further up to right here. This needs to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, it's sharp. It's not like really sharp, but it's definitely not dull. I've never sharpened it. It just has the factory edge on it. Yeah, getting bit by these things seems to happen pretty often. It's been a few weeks since I've gotten myself like good anyway. The one on my thumb didn't bleed. Oh, you can see it. If it'll anyway, I don't find a karambit style to be useful, so I don't. I need something that I can use on a daily basis, and that blade shape just isn't practical. Stuff like drop points. For a while I did. I didn't give them my tax information, so they demonetized the channel. But it is what it is. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to enjoy showing my collection to other people who are interested. I have not. And I hope I don't have to. But if the day comes, I would prefer to use a firearm over a knife. Because if I'm using a knife, then they're already way too close. I do appreciate all the questions, by the way. Lately, it's been pretty damn quiet around here, so yeah, demonetized. It is 3 a.m. and I'll be running until my phone hits 20%, and then I'm going to bed. It's at 34% right now, so it's going to be a bit. Liquid Grin, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever. Where the hell have you been? Dude's been cheating on me with other YouTubers. I guarantee it. Life took over. Definitely wasn't cheating on me with another YouTuber. Other than broke, as always, I'm doing all right. I've always got stuff up for sale. Lately, it's been really expensive stuff, though. It's hard to move. Oh, yeah. When I started streaming, no, this one's, oh, top right? Yeah. It's a Meguron Karak, however you want to pronounce it. Very expensive since you last saw me. I now have 7 Chris Reeve knives. I'm trying to get rid of 4 of them. Titanium. I had to go with titanium. I don't like aluminum, so. And other than a chip that it came with from factory, this thing's a badass knife. You can see the chip. Right here. All right, you have a good one. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I haven't carried this thing much. I've been carrying that. And then just recently I swapped over to this one to do a review on it. And this thing's a freaking beast. I have been enjoying this one. But it's interesting. The blade shape. I understand why the handle's shaped the way it is. It's the only way that you could fit the button where it is. Dude, that website that they use is sketchy as hell. Use a credit card that you don't mind canceling, because it just looks sketchy. Oh, yeah. I was like 50-50 on whether I was going to get scammed. So I'm still debating on my next purchase being, it's either going to be a Hinderer, a new blade for this, or a Grimsmo Rask. But I'm willing to bet money that a new blade for this is what's coming up next. So my thing about the Siluria is the enamel aluminum scales. I wish they'd go with G10, because it's got a front flipper. It's got I think it's got a regular flipper too. And it's a button actuated liner lock. And that's really cool. Appreciate the subscription. Yeah, so the enamel I've heard is slick. Like, really slick. So if your hand gets wet, there's like no grip. Appreciate you dropping in, Liquid Grin. You have a good one if you're headed out. You have a good one, Fluffy. Yeah, so I bought this one used for 170 and figured I'm getting a decent deal on it. I got scammed. And this thing was beat. It was mangled. So I sent it in, and they replaced literally everything except for the blade. Huge shout out to them, by the way. I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong, I had to pay for it still, but T8. The Solara needs G10 scales. Because the new blades come in MagnaCut, and frankly, if you've looked at a factory one of these compared to this one, they took off like 1/8 of an inch of steel off this thing. It's destroyed. This thing was in horrible condition when I got it. Yeah, so somebody tried sharpening it on a belt and fucked up horribly. So you can see where they hit it. I mean, and the whole thing was like that too. This one also has some rust pitting going on the anyway. It was worth saving. The problem is that everything else is replaced, so it's not even the original knife anymore. This knife, I'm sure, feels very targeted when you said that. Someone's grandpa took this thing to the belt, and it is mangled. Just re-satanize it. There's nothing I can do to help with this. Maybe. To be honest, I think somebody took a Dremel to it, trying to sharpen it. The thing about that knife is the pawn shop I got it from was going to throw it away. So I gave him $10 for it. Do I regret buying it? Kinda, but it's a case from the 60s. You know, it's not like they're gonna make any more in the 60s. I've done some restoration work. I don't find it very fun anymore. Cleaning, I can handle cleaning. Full restoration, not fun. I don't like making knives either. I'd prefer having somebody make them for me, and I just kind of tell them what to do. I'm a good manager. I suck at actually doing shit. Oh, resatin it? Well, these things came with a belt satin, and I don't have a belt large enough or a wheel large enough to do that, because these are a hollow grind, barely. It is a huge wheel on these. at the moment, it is impossible for me, but it's still a good beater knife. I should stop caring so much. This knife is going to be fine being used. I shouldn't feel bad for using it. Especially with a blade like that. They did a good job sharpening it when I sent it back though, and I appreciate that. So a hollow grind. First I'll show you a flat grind. So this is a flat grind. From here to here is a flat angle. You can see a reflection. It's not distorted in any way. Now these use a large wheel, and so the wheel's going in this direction and they cut it out on a wheel so it's not flat. It makes it so it stays thinner behind the edge for longer, although with these it's barely done, so I'll just leave it the way it is. Plus, a new blade's only $40. And then I'll get a MagnaCut blade. I shouldn't be complaining, really. No. So I figured when I bought it, I'll just send it in and get a new blade for $40. But it needed everything replaced, and I didn't expect that, so by the time I have a new blade put on it and everything, it's gonna have cost me more than a brand new one to get a brand new one without even having a box. My fault. Not a whole lot, just talking about pieces of the collection tonight. Actually having people to talk to for once, it's pretty nice. It's been really quiet lately, so having some people actually pop up has been great. Mine's a drop point. I don't like Tontos, so I wouldn't go with the Tonto. It depends on which ZT you're looking into. Which one are you looking at? Because I'd say the 117 is similar to an MSI, but thinner, more of an EDC instead of a beater. The MSI is a beater knife. This is a 562 Ti. These are more of a beater knife. It all depends on what you're looking at. I hate reverse flicking these things. I can't do it. Oh, I just did it. It hurt to do, but I did it. I can left-hand reverse flick this. I can't right-hand reverse flick it very easily. There's not enough space in here to do it. Now, I did bend the lock bar on my Nkosi, and I can reverse flick this thing just fine. This thing's buttery. That's why it's my favorite right there. You have a good one, Rat. We'll see you later. Oh yeah, the Nkosi beats everything else. I'd carry this over this any day. I'm not saying I'm getting rid of this. I don't think I could get another one for the price that I did. This one is smoother than every one that they have at the factory. I'm not joking when I say that. It is genuinely, like, I live 20 minutes away. I've compared it to every one that they have, and short of one, this thing has the cleanest action. They have one that's actually really nice at the factory. It's been modified. They're not supposed to be modified. But somebody there modified it. Oh, a 350? So I don't have a 350, but I got a 300. 300's bigger. Absolute freaking monster right here. These things are a bitch to get your hands on, too. Oh, yeah. This thing, you could literally do anything with it. Ooh. I replaced the spring on this one because it was a little bit weak. A lot more contour to it, though. I don't have a Recon one, but I'd pick... It depends. Let's be honest. What are you trying to do? What are you doing with your knife that you think you need? Oh, okay. Size-wise, probably about the same. This one might be a bit bigger. Let me look that up real quick. This one's got a 3.5-inch blade. So the Recon one might be bigger. Specifications. No, I don't want your frickin'... Just tell me stuff about the damn knife. Thank you. Okay, so this is about a 1/2 inch shorter blade. So this one's a 3.5. The Recon one's a 4. This thing's beefy, though. I mean, look at it. Duh. These are discontinued, but yeah. It's for sale, but give me a sec. I want to look something up real quick. The 0350 is 3.25 inch. I hate recurves. This thing took over an hour to sharpen. Yeah, you can. You bought that. Dude, if I had a wife, first of all, And second of all, if she stole this, might file a police report. It's my favorite knife. Tell me that's a good sharpening choil, because it isn't. The previous owner went up here while sharpening it. You got to keep in mind, these are $500 knives. They're and you're not stealing my favorite knife. That's just dirty. Thank you. Yeah, what sharpening choil? This one's been a pain in the ass to get rid of. It's also a pain in the ass to sharpen, but I got most of it sharp. I've had issues finishing it. It's this spot right up here. I can't seem to hit it just right when sharpening. Now, you know my favorite sharpening choils are these. Look at that. It's just freaking huge. There's just nothing there. Hell, the whole plunge grind is behind the scale. That's ridiculous. She like large knives? She likes large knives, huh? Get her... I don't think you'll ever see it again if you get it for her, but a ProTech Avalon. Or if she likes Tontos, you can buy her my other Nkosi. Yeah. Odin's toothpick. Those things are fucking massive. What was it? The Fenris? No, the Odin's toothpick is a 2-foot blade. The Fenris is like a foot, I think. Yeah, I think the Avalon would get her going. I think it's a 4-inch blade. I don't really buy from ProTech because they don't make a whole lot of stuff in titanium. So you can't really blame me there. I would like 550. It's got black micarta inlays. Glass blasted, fresh from a Spade. Magna cut blade. You're married to a thief, man. I feel bad for you. That's gotta suck. Go to your knife box and you're like, you know what? I want to carry this today. And it's just gone. That would suck. I'm going to be honest. I don't carry this thing much anymore. Ever since I got my Nkosi, I don't really carry the Sebenza much. Just leave a note, and it's like my 13th reason was you stealing my Demco 80-20.5. I have dark humor. God, what a beauty. Dude, that sucks. Well, now I have a question. Does she play with them, or does she just keep them in her purse for safekeeping or whatever, where they get covered in scratches and shit? Yeah, Joshua, if you want that thing, 550 is $100 under new, and you're not paying tax. Okay. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram or something. That's where I prefer talking because over email is just annoying. Green and orange. Now that's a choice. It's not my choice, but it's definitely a choice. Here's my problem. Actually, I would honestly go with pink. I'm perfectly comfortable carrying a pink knife. What, are you gonna talk shit about me for carrying a knife that, oh, Perry the Platypus. That adds up. Okay. You gonna try and bully me for a pink knife? It would have to be a bluish and an orangish brown. Don't forget a splash of white in there too. Oh wait, orange, brown, a splash of white, and greenish blue. Yeah, so the pink ones, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it earlier, and I do want to bring it up because I think it's a cool thing. Spyderco. Living Beyond Breast Cancer. That's what it is. Yeah, I was wrong on that one, but yeah, all of these pink ones that you can get from Spyderco. Oh, this one's going to be new. Spyderco is proud to support Living Beyond Breast Cancer by donating a portion of the sales of our pink-handled knives to this amazing organization. It's a national nonprofit that seeks to create a world that understands there is more than one way to have breast cancer. I can appreciate that. It's not just awareness, because just about everybody knows about it. It's, if I'm not mistaken by the sounds of it, it's supporting people who have already been through and have remission. Yeah, my mom had it a while back. It is brutal. Which kind is it? These ones are fun. Now, something that I found kind of entertaining. No? That kind of bothers me too, to be honest. When stuff like that happens. I'm sure you guys have noticed a lot of my knives are smaller companies. It's not something I focus on, it's just there. Like this company's pretty small. They're made in China, but it's still a pretty small company. Oh, it definitely sucks. You got to find something else to focus on, though. Because focusing on that is not going to help anybody's mental health. I just about got myself again. You will never see. That's not the truth. It's not very likely that you'll see somebody who treats their Nkosi worse than I do. I don't do abuse, but I do hard use sometimes. And if that's what helps you get through it, I support that. I personally don't have beliefs like that for one reason or another. it pisses people off when I get into it, but oh, they're definitely made to be used. I don't use it like a normal knife, though. Don't get me wrong, I don't do prying with it, but I dig with it. That's my main thing is I go when I'm weeding, I just shove it in the ground under the weed and cut the stem, then pull it out. And it sharpens right back up. But when I bought this thing, I told people I bought it to use it like it was 30 bucks. And so far I've done that. Done a pretty good job at it. I might modify it. I'm not sure yet. Now this one I kind of feel bad for using, which is weird because it costs just as much as that one and that one. But this one I'll use, and this one I'll beat the shit out of, but this one I feel bad about using. I'm honestly kind of scared I'm going to break the blade on that one. That one's heat treated harder than the other two. On the low end, it's 64 HRC. It might be higher. And this is an educated guess. It's not a verified. Although I might go to ACECO here in Boise and say, hey, can you guys tell me how hard this thing is? Yeah, so they did a drop recently. So I live like 20 minutes away from where they're made, so 20 or 30, it depends on traffic. But they're having trouble getting blades, right? So they have plenty of scales finished already, but the blades are what the issue is. I want to read this real quick. Does that say 23? 25. Okay. No, it wasn't running out of MagnaCut. They ran out of MagnaCut blades a while back. This isn't Crucible MagnaCut. This is Aerosteel MagnaCut. But I think what happens is if you look at all the other ones, like this one, it's got a crown spine. And a crown spine is probably a lot easier to do than a harpoon with a choil or a swedge that's that deep. So these are chamfered instead of crowned. And this whole line from right here to the tip is all done on one belt. Yes, the better MagnaCut, even though I don't want to admit it. Fucking French doing something right for once. But anyway, I'm assuming it's because they had issues with those getting that swedge done. But yeah, my scales were made in 25. The third. Yeah, the third quarter of 2025, and this thing was finished in May. So it took, let's see, Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, dude. We thought they were just going to give up at everything. Apparently, they're good at making steel. I'm shocked about that one as much as you guys are. Yeah, it took months to get this one finished. Let's see. At the very least, it took 8 months to get this one a blade. At the longest, it took 10. And that was for them to get the blade, not me wanting an aftermarket blade or a second blade. Those blades just took forever. Oh, I was wondering too. I might drop by and ask, because I want my name on the list for an Insingo Inkosi blade and Magnamax if they decide to do it. I've been telling people, I know that Magnamax is available right now, but it's not made. None of the knives that are made in Magnamax are something that I'm interested in. But here's my guess, right? They came out with S45VN, and a couple years later, MagnaCut dropped, right? And when MagnaCut dropped, they waited 2 to 3 years before they started making MagnaCut blades. So my thought is 28, 2028, 2029 maybe. I don't like the Manix 2. The springs on them are too hard, and frankly, I just don't like crossbar locks. Like this one's only nice because it's fidget friendly and has a light detent. My Manix 2 lightweight has an atrocious detent. I'll drop by and ask. They're probably not going to give me any answers, but I will ask. Because I want one. I want my name on the list. Be one of the first ones they give or they sell a blade to. Until then, I'll have my drop point, and it'll do everything that I need it to do. And then I'll drop $150 on a new blade, which has me wondering, when was the last time they upped their prices? So they upped their prices in 2022. I think it's due for another price increase. So I wouldn't be surprised if I were you guys if they increased the price of everything by about $50. Never heard of it. I tend to stay away from him. I have my reasons. Not going to explain it. I'd rather go with something from Transparent from Brian. I might ask him if he'll make one for me. Yeah, from Gersh. I have my reasons. I'm not going to explain it. It's not really a huge deal. I don't want to. I don't want to. That's all you guys need to know. You guys can buy from him. I'm not going to try and stop you. I'm sure he makes great shit. But I think I'll see if Transparent would be willing to make me an Nkosi blade and Magnamax with Sebenza style jimping. Because I hate the jimping on this thing. Fucking garbage. This one, though. Ooh. Tight, solid jimping right there. And then this shit that just stabs me in the thumb every time that I use it. Oh no, this stuff just slips. Gonna be honest, I don't completely disagree with you. Actually, this company's doing something like that. You can order secondary blades for it. I might work with them to come out with an M390 blade for one of these. Because currently their offerings are D2 and 14C. I know that Damascus is in the running, but I don't care. They also have S35 coming as an option. But yeah, just have a KO edition in M390 at 62 plus or minus 1 HRC. It's just for looks. It's not useful. The thing is, they use 10CR core Damascus, so at least it's a decent steel. Like, even Damasteel sucks. I don't know why people buy that shit. It's $200 for the blade on average. Can you explain to me what makes it worth that? Nothing. Okay, so the only aftermarket blade you can buy from them right now is 14C. But you can buy a shit ton of aftermarket scales. They've yet to do the Jade G10, but everything else is available. I've got another project I'm working on, but I'll reach out and see if they'd be willing to do one of these in M390. Around 90, $100 if possible. Preferably 90. I think they might be looking at my other project because they haven't responded in a few days. Oh, I 100% agree. And here's my thing. If I'm going to have my name on it, it has to be heat treated to a point where I'm happy with it. So 62 plus or minus 1, because that's their average heat treat specifications, is a deviation of 1. So 62 plus or minus 1 would end up between 61 and 63, which is acceptable. But if you're paying less than $100, how much can you complain when you're actually getting over 60? It's kind of hard to complain at that point. I think they do it themselves. They're a Chinese-based company. The thing is, when you order them, they come in pieces, so you have to make it yourself. With that being the case, they don't get stopped in they don't get stopped by customs because they're not weapons, because they're in pieces. Which means that they charge a little bit less than some of the other companies. For that specifically, just so we're clear. Now, unfortunately, I think their D2 is 60 plus or minus 1. I'll have to double check that before you guys quote me on that. Give me a minute and I'll check. It's passable, but it's not great. I'm looking for great, especially if I'm putting my name on it. Here's the thing, right? Their demographic is the average person on Amazon because they sell stuff on Amazon. So we need to keep in mind that it needs to be able to be sharpened by the average person on Amazon, which is why I went with M390, because if it were my choice, I'd be going with S90V. I like S90V so much more than M390. It's because edge retention's my thing. I don't give a shit about toughness. That's why Maximate and Rex 121 are 7 of my favorite steels in my collection. But yeah, their 14C and their D2 are pretty damn good. This one filled half of a recycle bin, and that recycle bin's like 3 feet tall. 3.5, maybe 4. I think it's 3.5. But it filled it halfway with cardboard, and it was still sharp afterwards, so I'm gonna say that it's good. I will tell you guys, they did send these to me. I didn't pay for them, but I'll also tell you that I'm not going to sit there and lie to you guys about shit. Not worth it. I don't get paid for this. All right. Finally got their listing open. That shit's ridiculous. 1095 shouldn't be above 60. They don't have it listed on their things anymore. From a factory, it shouldn't be more than 60. I'll put it that way. But 1095 is just a subpar steel. The fact that it's still used at all annoys the shit out of me. That shit should have been abandoned years ago. I don't like talking about steel like that, but it's pathetic. Sorry, I'm still trying to find the heat treat specs on this because they used to have it on their listing and now they don't. And I told them that they needed to have it on their listing. Well, might have to have Taylor do some hardness testing on those then. The only saving grace of SE knives is their warranty. If it weren't for their warranty, I wouldn't even look at their shit. The problem is they don't warranty their folding knives because they don't make them. Now, what I didn't realize, I'm pretty sure that SE knives are made here in Idaho. Didn't know that. double check that real quick. Tops is also in Idaho. Idaho Falls by Rowan Manufacturing. And some of them are made overseas, apparently. Yeah. Laren Thomas has been an absolute blessing on the knife community. I don't think we ever would have, maybe not ever, but we are years, decades ahead of where we were before. Like an actually decent all around steel like MagnaCut, insane. Pro Cut, pretty damn good stuff from what I've heard. Now we got Magnamax, where I don't think he's put it on his website yet. You can just say the word. I don't care. It's just a word to me. So it's good at everything. It's actually pretty decent at stainlessness, but toughness it's good at, and edge retention it's good at. The thing about Magnamax is he's claiming edge retention around K390 or 10V. Give me a sec, I gotta check how high that is. So it has 50% more edge retention than S35VN with the same toughness. That is huge. Yeah, it'd be about a 7.5. Except 10V is pretty up there. Give me a sec on that one. I know 10V is really high, 8.5, and K390 7.5. So it's probably going to be an 8, depending on heat treat, obviously. Something that I find awfully interesting about his website is he doesn't have a whole lot of. Oh yeah, he does. Never mind. I was wrong. Here in about 4 minutes, I'll go ahead and end the stream, then head to bed. No, I just have a broken sleep schedule. Yep. Poor me. If I do swap jobs, though, I'll have to fix that. So that's not going to be fun. I signed an NDA. I'm not allowed to talk about it. It's pretty boring, though. I wouldn't mind swapping jobs, though. Maybe actually get some better pay. I really want another blade for this. No. Sounds like a great job, doesn't it? Gives me time to buy and sell knives on the side, though. Oh, my back. Like 12 to 8 or something sometimes. It's more of a per job situation than an hourly thing, so thing is you only get so many jobs, so it gives me time to go out and go to pawn shops and stuff, though, so no, could be worse. I could also get a livable wage, though. Oh, do you now? Public safety, like... Like flagging or security or... I was a flagger for a while. That job was alright until I got fired. Oh, okay. That job sucks. I'll be sure not to say the Q word. Anyway. I have to ask, is shit as involved as people say it is? Thank God. I suppose it also depends on where you are in the country. I'm willing to bet that places where drugs are more of a problem, it's more of a problem. That is my life motto right there. It is what it is. My other life motto is oh well. I say the oh well more often. I bet. I don't like people, so that's not the job for me. I'm sure I'd be decent as a dentist, though, because I really don't like kids. I also have a very expensive hobby. Luckily, the hobby pays for it for the most part. If you're buying and selling stuff often enough, then you don't really have to worry about the whole money side of it. Are there any knives you're looking for at the moment? Other than an 0350, I can't help with that one. Ew, you've been reducing it? Yeah, I did that a while back. I sold 30 knives to buy my first, okay. I sold 30 knives to be able to afford my first Sebenza. And then I bought a large Nkosi. Then I bought a small Nkosi. Then I bought a Menandi, and then I sold that. And then I bought an Umnumzan, and then I bought a backpacker. The backpacker's been more of a pain to get rid of than I thought it would be. I would have thought that thing would have sold almost instantly. I don't usually buy them new, so The thing is, I have it priced at $350. It's not like it's overpriced when they're still selling for $430. Yes, I know that MSRP is. Oh, that's your collection? Yeah, my collection's like $8,000. Maybe 9. It's been a while. I haven't really checked. I don't count the Arius as mine. That's a buddy's. I'm trying to sell it for him. Nobody wants that thing. I just saw like new Arius. A like new Arius sold for $650. That's hard to watch. I got that app a while back. It took me like 15 minutes to put in my first Sebenza, and after it took me 15 minutes, I said, fuck this. And then I just deleted it today. There's another one called Choil, but this shit's, if it can't autofill and know what a Sebenza is, then I don't shop on Whatnot. I don't sell on there either. I sell on my YouTube live streams. But I don't shop on there because I don't like fighting other people for what I want to buy. You were the one talking about a 350, right? Or was that somebody else? Okay. You know it's assisted, right? Some people get them and figure out it's assisted, and then they're not very happy with it anymore. I think the action on them without the assist sucks. I think the most interesting out the side assisted knife I've got, it's assisted, not auto. And yes, I'm trying to sell it to you, is a Benchmade Arcane. Of course, it doesn't come with thumb stud, that's mine, but it's way better with the thumb stud. I'm pissed off that this thing hasn't moved. Anyway, S90V aluminum scales. I think I have it priced at like $125. Yeah, I'm kind of mad that it hasn't moved. Can you blame me though? Shit, I'd sell it with the thumb stud too if the buyer'd pay another $10 for it. That's how much it cost me, so. Apparently you can get bearings for this thing. It'd be really interesting to take this thing apart, take the assisted thing out, and then put bearings on it. Skiff makes bearings for it. If I was going to keep it, that's what I would do, to be honest. I'd leave the thumb stud on and then put it on bearings. Probably because it's aluminum scales. Oh, why didn't it have thumb studs? Because they're stupid. This thing would be amazing if it came with thumb studs from factory. Because that flipper tab is freaking tiny. You expect me to hit that every time? I just failed 4 times in a row. You know what I've never failed on? A thumb stud. Imagine that, right? What a fucking shocker. It's a wonder why it's discontinued. I think. I don't know. I don't look these things up anymore. Not really. I'm skeptical of other people. I don't trust, like, anybody, so. What are you thinking? Because it would have to be something very compelling. Yeah, 20 MTEX. That would be ridiculous. You mean serrated? No thanks. I have never been able to move a serrated knife. That's not true. I've sold one serrated knife total. Out of the 30 or so that I've bought, I've only been able to sell one. I need something where if I need to move it, I can, and serrated just ain't gonna do it. And even if it were for me, I don't have a use for serrations. I've tried them, don't get me wrong. They just never really end up working out. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. It'd be entertaining to see. Probably laugh at the person offering it, but definitely wouldn't accept it. I should really get my ass on Knife Swap. I just hate using I hate using PayPal because they treat me like shit every time that I use them. Held my money hostage for like 3 weeks when I needed it. Ooh, look at you. You just created a new account and then you got $300 for gas. Well, guess what? We're going to hold that hostage the whole time that you need it. I told myself I'd never use them again, but damn, the extra views that I would get on the things I'm selling on Knife Swap would be really nice right about now. It's really funny because my username on Reddit is Knockoff Knives. So I'm sitting there selling real knives with an account called Knockoff Knives. Thing is, I can't change the name. I am stuck with Knockoff Knives forever. Oh, fun. Yeah, when I have people buy from me, I use Cash App, and then I tell them in the notes, just put your address, your name and your address, or just your address, and I'll ship it to that address. It works better that way. I beat you to it. What did I beat you to? I'm gonna put the headphones away. Oh, my back. Yeah, that's why I don't stream anymore. What a great reminder of why I don't live stream. Lower back pain. Well, my phone's at 10%. I swear to God, the worst thing I lie about to you guys is saying, oh, I'm only going to live stream for another 10 minutes. Then I go for another hour and a half. Because of course I do. I'm the worst liar when it comes to saying I'm going to be done at a certain time. I lie every single time. Oh, what do I want to carry tomorrow? We're going to carry the ZT tomorrow. Zent, what's up? You're showing up at the end of the stream. So we'll carry the ZT 562 Ti and we'll carry the Ranger because this thing's just fun to play with. Holds a decent edge. It's going to do whatever I need it to do. And then an absolute beater in the right pocket. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Probably not going to live stream for a little while after this because if I continue doing the daily live stream thing, I'm going to hurt my back again. And I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'm not doing that for you guys because that shit hurt. Like, really bad. Couldn't sit down in a truck for more than 10 minutes without my back killing me. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one.